nuts, 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 nuts.
Well, first intern checked in. Time to lock another casualty. Success story. Well, first intern checked in. Time to lock another casualty. Success story.
What's up, heap of bass?
In a village where silence is sacred, one house, drop the bass.
Everyone whispers, tiptoes and prays. Curtains drawn tight for those silent days. But down on the end where the glow sticks ignite lives a house that raves through the night. 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, bow! Quiet down, they plead and shout. But Bob just yells, let's warm it out!
Neighbors cringe, they duck and sob.
Too late now, you've triggered Bob. Ounce, 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 ounce. Ounce, 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 ounce. Bob's the house that don't stop. Front porch rises with a midnight drop. Windows flashing, no plans to stop. Fridge rumbles deep with a midnight thump. Tea with a twist of glow stick foam. Bob's got lasers in every dome. Headphones blasting off the chain, blasting up inside the window pane. Where BYOB means bring your own boyfriend. You won't arrive with one, but you might leave with 10. Now it's time to drop the word. Who's the house? Who won't stop? Who won't stop? Who got banned from neighborhood watch? Ons, 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 ons. Ons, 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 ons. Bob's the house that breaks the peace. Throws a party with the centerpiece. Glow
Please enjoy your stay in the quiet village.
Unless you're Bob.
The Ballad of Dick Charming. A mighty foe came to the rift, squeaking and oinking. He zoomed across the land, treating everyone like a plaything. He disrupted politics, he disrupted trade, he disrupted bowel movements. Everyone felt afraid. A cry for help went across the wide area. No part was left untouched. It was mass hysteria. A man wondered in heeding the mighty call. A charming dick came to release us from the pig's thrall. The land had a need to be freed from this fiend from Guinea. Dick got up and came into the rift. He couldn't leave those in need adrift. His companions weren't friends. They enforced their support and initiated an escort mission. And he was the escort. Dick was first joined by the Mage, which increased his luck. Next he broke down the defenses of the archer, full of pluck. They saved a quiet village and managed to not kick the bucket. They traveled across the lands, determined not to miss it. One last companion to find before the final showdown, to release her from her cold reception. Flames raised the town with the group made whole. There was just one challenge left to face. They traveled together to the imposing castle to blast that pig into space. The land had a need to be freed from this fiend from Guinea. Dick got up and came into the rift. He couldn't leave those in need adrift. His companions weren't friends. They enforced their support and initiated an escort mission. And he was the escort. His companions weren't friends. They enforced their support and initiated an escort mission. And he was the escort. Dick.
Wow, talk about perfect timing. Just as the timer is coming to a close, fam, let me get up here real quick and I'll get myself up on camera. Fam, it's good to see everybody. Welcome in. Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon for those of you that are in my time zone. Let me make my way right down through chat here. Kira, good morning. Sis, good morning. I know it's morning for you too. Jason, good morning. Let's see. Shadow, how are you? It is good to see you. Welcome in. Cheryl, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome in. Took you a second to recognize the new song. I built it in this morning. Added it to the playlist this morning. I've got to get you the links for that too. And I will do that. I will do that. I'll tell you what. No, I'm not going to make a big production out of it. I'll just get it over to you. Oh my gosh.
Description confirmed. HR will overlook your crimes. This time.
Ferret, thank you so much for the resub. I really appreciate it, love. Where are we at now? 27 months? Thank you so much for the continued support. I really appreciate it. No time like the present to do this. Indeed. Indeed. Welcome in, love. Good to see you. Oh, fam, you know what I need to do, by the way? I'm going to be working with a lot of new stuff today. Let me see if my game dev glasses are clean here. I forgot to wash the lenses off before I got started. Nope, I'll do that on the break. I'll keep these other glasses on for the time being. These are the better option for the moment. Oh, man. Fam, we're going to have a lot of fun today. Here's what today is all about. I have run a full backup of the game. Full. Now, for those of you that weren't around last week we got, unfortunately, a little bit of an ugly surprise. I tried out the Stella character generator, something we were really excited to get into because we were very excited for the Visustella, not just the character generator, but the plugins and everything we were going to use in-game as well. Okay, they have a beautiful suite of tools that are available. They're not overly expensive. So we were going to dive in. After our experience with the Stella character generator last week, which is, quite frankly, fam, absolutely horrid. And I'm not saying anything that isn't well known within RPG Maker circles. For some reason, and here's where I throw the compliment right back in though. For some reason, even though the Visustella set of plugins and tile sets and all that are highly regarded within the community, the Stella character generator is the outlier. There are rumors and theories as to why that is or what actually caused that problem. But having downloaded the first of their waves packs is completely free now. So I downloaded that first to give it a test to see what we would actually be looking at and how much functionality we could add in. The Stella plugins so far are wonderful. I'm going to show you some things on screen today. I'm going to show you some things right in the game. A whole bunch of new options and add-ons that we have now available to players we didn't have before. Some things that are going to help us with the game dev that we didn't have before. Very helpful on all levels. So. And one of his redeems is clearly, cleaning the glass on the table. I've had those a couple of times already, Ferret, where it's just washing the windows, basically. I might add a couple more of those in, but I want to animate it myself this time. We're going to have a lot more fun with the dick around system. We're just getting started there. A lot more to come from that. A lot more to come from that. But fam, again, what we're going to be able to do today is anything that happens in here, if I run into a major problem or otherwise, I sweat no bullets. There are 2 full backups of the game in its current state in other locations, one on this very computer, the other remote. So we'll be safe. We're going to be safe there. So if something goes sideways with the plugins, I basically installed all of their engines. One at a time, tested them out this morning, make sure that they weren't causing any major conflicts with each other. All is looking good so far. One of the major concerns that we're going to need to address, and I don't know if this is going to be a problem yet or not, Elfie did a beautiful job building that character swap plugin for us. And because of how some of these other plugins work, I want to make sure we don't run into any problems there either. I don't think we will. I think we'll be just fine. But we'll find out. We'll find out. If we run into problems, sometimes it's just a matter of what order the plugins are installed. And you can move those on the fly, by the way, which is one of the really nice things about RPG Maker. So. Oh, you got the car back. Nice. Very nice, Shadow. So everything's okay? And Cerberus, good to see you. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Fam, by the way, quick note, and I'll bring this up a couple times on stream today too. And I'm sorry, I meant to announce this on Sunday, and I just forgot with everything else we had going on with the squirrel merch. Tomorrow, fam, I will not be streaming. I will not be here. Okay? Tonight, after the stream, we're going to end right on time. And I'm going to have to kind of do a raid and run, unfortunately, for whoever we raid into. But tonight, I'm getting a triple shot, basically. Without getting into grand detail, flu, COVID, shingles. What this means is that tomorrow, I'll be able to get some work done, but I'm going to be sick. I always am. So I always take the day after getting the shots off, just for that reason. We'll be back on Thursday, fam, with bells on. No problems. No problems. So, oh yeah, for a day. Tomorrow I will. And then Thursday I'll wake up feeling just great. Not my first rodeo here. Usually I get 2 to 3 at a time. Just get them done because each one individually makes me sick anyway. So I might as well just get them done and get it out of the way. And yes, I feel like crap for about a day. I wake up the following morning feeling great. Always, without fail. Actually, the last time I got the shots was the easiest time I've ever had. Still didn't feel great, but was better. So I'm hoping this time around will be a little bit easier too. We'll see. We'll see. CB, how are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, Scorba for me. Scorba, how are you, by the way? Scorba, for me, it's just, again, if I get them all separate, I'm going to get sick after each one. So I might as well do it all at once and get it over with. Doctor told me in my case, it's perfectly fine too. Not a problem. And that's just it. I'd rather feel like garbage for a day and get on with my life than have to, excuse me, than have to keep going back and doing it over and over again. Nah. Oh. Scorbits, you sound like the way I used to be. I'd get sick for, well, the one time this was a long time ago. I actually got the shot and got the flu. I've talked about that on stream before. I hated it. But the flu that year was particularly bad, and people that were catching it were being taken out for as much as a month, and I never caught it. It obviously triggered enough that I didn't have to suffer beyond about 4 or 5 days. So I got sick, but not as sick as most other people got. It was just a weird year because the shots normally don't affect me that way. Anyway, so. Exactly, Cheryl. That means your body's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. You should feel at least a little off for about a day. Because your body's preparing it for everything. But fam, I'll tell you what, after last year when I got sick and I was out for a couple of weeks because of it, nah. I'd rather have reduced recovery time where I'm away from you all a lot less. Always. Because I hate that. I hate when I get truly sick, as you all know, and sometimes it's 2-3 weeks before I can come back. Enough of that. It's no guarantee you won't catch it. It just usually means a much reduced recovery time. So. Oh man, Scorba. Did not realize that. You need to get both shots again soon. We wanted to jump on it, Cerberus, because it's in our area, it's already running all over the place. Where we live, it hit early this year. So we don't want to mess around with it. Especially, especially with what we all do and how we work with the public and on and on. And the thing with my immune system is because I work from home, I don't get out into public as much because of it. So that's another part of it as well. Would force you to get the flu shot every year. Hated it. Oh, really, Kira? For about 4 to 5 days. The shot. Oh, wow. Oh, Kira, I'm sorry to hear that. See, in my case, I'm sick less if I get the shot. So, but that's what's going on, fam. So I will not be here tomorrow. We will be here Thursday. So that's what's going on, just so you all know. Now, I do have one other little thing I want to open up and surprise you all with, though. Since I will not be here tomorrow to do our usual art stream, I may have taken a little time yesterday and done something. Now, I'm not 100% on his color yet. I might leave this green. I might go with something more like a red. But let me open up this little graphics program here and show you what I'm talking about.
I got a message from a voice in my brain. Sounded like a broken radio with static and waves. Said his name was Stanton from the city of light. He's the AI god of all the airwaves and mics. Said I've got it all planned out.
All right, fam. Here's the work in progress that I will not get a chance to show you tomorrow. All right, fam. This is the former version of Stanton. All right, the one we worked up on stream and all that. Not bad. Not bad. But when you put that up against Squirrel that we just finished, night and day difference. They don't even look like they go together. Not to mention the fact that my artistic skills took a serious uptick when we did Squirrel. So, may I present to you, and still a little bit of a work in progress, but mostly done. There's our new Stanton. Much like with Squirrel, I left a darker green on the inside of the glasses. In Squirrel's case, of course, I left the purple in her pupils. So that helps keep it on point. Not 100% on the eyebrows yet. Might look at a couple different things there, but I do like the eyebrows because there's a little bit of lore that I'm not going to spoiler for anybody, but there's a reason why I made the eyebrows like that. I just have to decide if I like it and it doesn't look too off while we wait for everybody to learn some more of Stanton's backstory, but Kira, you like the change? Cerberus, you like it? The eyebrows are, well, they're even though. They're even and they're spaced, but there's a reason I did that. Like I said, I don't want to spoiler too much or give it away. But BFM, basically, I took my new set of art skills and went back to Stanton and improved it. Gave it a better look. Part of what made Stanton look off, by the way, with my art style, what I do is I slightly enlarge the heads of the characters. Slightly. The original Stanton didn't do that because I wanted Stanton to look more muscle-bound. I left his body more full because he's more like the Archangel of the Rift. But looking it over, I'm like, if we don't match the art styles up, it just doesn't go together. Now, I might change this over to red or another color like a blue or go back to the purple. I'm not sure yet. I did all this work yesterday. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually stepping away from it, letting it kind of rest for a bit. And then I'm going to come back to it and decide if I'm happy with it or if I want to make any more tweaks before we start animating. But he is pretty much done at this point. That is him in the new art style. And it's night and day. It's really night and day. And again, I had him up against Squirrel. Actually, Fab, I'll show you real quick. But fam, Squirrel up against the original Stanton doesn't quite go together. But Squirrel up against the new Stanton, it makes more sense. And that's part of what I was looking at too. is I want to make sure I keep my art style, because I'm still very much learning, fam. I want to make sure I keep my art style consistent. That's one of the things I want to continue to master, not just draw something and say, yeah, that looks good and move on. I actually want to continue to improve the consistency as well, because I want all of the characters to have a similar look. One of the things I'm hoping to do, and no promises, fam, but one of the things I'm hoping to do is if I can continue to build my skills this way, is eventually build in a membership benefit where I'll make a character for you as part of your membership benefit. We'll see, though. One thing at a time. I think it would be a lot of fun if somebody comes in at a certain level to be able to go live on stream and start designing their character and all that for them. That could be a lot of fun. CB, I use Affinity. For all the design work and everything, yeah, I use Affinity. I really like it too. I basically broke my Adobe chains a while ago, started dialing into some other software and familiarizing myself with it. Really glad I did that. Lots of options, lots of crazy things to be able to do without the monster price tag every month. So, I love this software though. I absolutely love it. There we go. Okay. Just making sure I am catching up with everything and keeping up with chat. So we're going to go there. All right, so fam, let me go ahead and shut this down and let's get back into our game design here. And fam, again, today we get to play. As you can see, I've already changed the map over. Now, if I compare this to the other courtyard, which we're going to do the other courtyard today too. That's what it originally looked like. That's what everyone was used to. What I did was, as part
Long shot Johnson.
as part of the Visustella pack, it actually also includes a tile set that's designed to look a little bit better than the stock set. It's meant to be a modified stock set, and it does. It looks really nice. So we're gonna play around with that a little bit in the maps while we're doing all this other craziness today too. So there's a lot of things that have been added in, and we're gonna stay mainly in this part of the game today, so I can show you a little bit of what we've added in and what we've been able to do so far. Elfie, good morning. How are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Kira, it does, by the way. It does. We've been able to do a number of fun things here, fam. Gonna bring myself out to the full game screen here now. And let's take a quick look. There we go. We'll mute out here for just a second, and I should be able to just jump right into this. You'll notice right off the bat that we are full screen. You'll also notice a different font and all that. I'll show you, fam. I'll show you. The updates that I put in, the plugins that I put in, already automatically activated certain things to show you, and a lot of this stuff is activated automatically to show you what pops up in the game. Let me make sure. Okay, good. Music is quiet enough, so. Elfie, oh yeah. Yeah, this is great. So you can set it up for always dash. I'll leave that off for now. Auto save. If I decide, these are all options that we can turn on and off, fam. Right now I'm leaving them all on because I wanted you all to be able to see like some of the options we're going to be able to give you in the game. Auto save on and off, And by the way, this also adds in a functionality that it drops an automatic autosave in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen whenever it autosaves. So you know when the last autosave happened, which is really nice. Random encounters. I don't know if we'll leave this option in or not, but none, half, or normal. So in other words, if you're one of those players that gets annoyed by random encounters all the time, you can actually turn them off. Again, options that we'll talk about whether we're going to include or not. Show battle animations, battle animation speed. You can have it go fast, faster, or fastest. All right, command remember. Auto battle start, where it'll jump right in if that's what you want it to do. Auto battle style, either attack or skills. These are things that you can add in through plugins and otherwise. You can have it display the FPS. Now, that's an option I'll probably eliminate because it's a top-down RPG. I don't think we really need to track our FPS, but as a dev tool, it's very handy. Limit FPS, that is an option we will leave in. So that if somebody has a card or something where they've got to worry about it overrunning the card, certain cards are like that too, fam, by the way. Stretch screen is on right now. That, of course, stretches it all the way out. If I turn that off, it brings it down to that base resolution. Right now, the game is set at 720p, by the way. And that's why that's set up the way it is. Or maybe, I'm sorry, maybe, no, it was 720p. That's right. That was what I set it to. You can rebind the keyboard controls. You can rebind the gamepad controls. So that's all set up in there. Audio. This is one thing that really made a difference for me. Not only are the colors prettier and the interface prettier, but also let me mute the game for a second while I loop that back around. There we go, fam. And I can set that up. So the increment was in the engine naturally is set to go up by 20% each time. With this plugin, I can set it to whatever increment I want to. Now, I probably wouldn't go below like 5% at a shot, which is probably where I'll ultimately set it. So you have that much control. But the base option that's in the engine where you only are able to move it by like 20%, that gets rough. That gets rough. Now you'll be able to really fine tune it the way you want to fine tune it. Also, you can choose you can set it up so people can choose which cursor option they want so that whenever they click something, pretty much as many as you want to, by the way. So confirm, cancel, buzzer, all of that. All of that. Onto the UI, you can actually change the color of the windows to set your personal taste. Text font. I love this. We can leave people a few options if we want to. And that way we can see what we want to go with. If we decide on one font, what this allows us to do is to test several different fonts to see which one we like the best. Let me find Arial's always good, but I wanted to actually go back to there we go. Helvetica. Touch UI, you can turn that on or off depending on if somebody needs it. Now, if you're on a like a cellular device or something like that, then yeah, absolutely. If you're on your phone, a tablet, anything like that, you'll need to have that enabled. But this prevents that from being the case. So you can actually turn that off completely. Where somebody would have to walk around using the keyboard, they would lose the mouse functionality, but they'd have to use the keyboard to move around. I would rather not do that. I can understand, as we learned just last week, I can understand circumstances coming up where you would want to do that to the player. I will do everything in my power that we don't have to do that, though. If you want to be able to use your mouse and click around, I think you should be able to do that. Also, that keeps us in good practice. Speaking of the touch UI, that keeps us in good practice for that too. The full screen, oh yeah. And the fact that it'll auto-size, it auto-sizes, by the way, to whatever your display is. That's the best part. I think I will still look into with these plugins if we can let people choose their resolution. Which makes sense. But the fact that it auto-sizes and all that automatically is really nice. It removes a lot of those annoyances. Menu style. Go with the recommended or go with the custom. And you can tell it where you want it to be. Down and lower. I'm sorry, listen to me. Down and to the right, down and to the left, or up and to the left or up and to the right. You can have it show the HP gauge when you're in the middle of a battle, which of course you do. Now, this is an option that won't be in the game for the user, but is a huge help to us as devs. I turn this on. Map update speed, random encounters I can turn on and off again. I have options for God mode, resist negative effects, instant KO. So if you're trying to go through and test mechanics and the battles really don't matter, you can throw on God mode and have it rip through the battles so you can keep moving and make sure that the other mechanics are working okay, is the idea. You can also have the XP multiply faster, gold multiply faster, more drops. Here's our list of items right now. And you can just have it grab one of those items and put it in your inventory. So if you've got to test something, drops it right in there and you're set to go. And you can buy anything. Anything. Saves the need to program in events that actually automatically give you this stuff. Now I just go into a menu and say, I need this, and this. Oh, I don't have the cock block right now to test that mechanic. I'll go in and buy one. Incredibly helpful, though. Incredibly helpful. Let me go ahead and back out here real quick. But weapons, armors, and then you've got a full debug menu as well. Which is this is pretty much the same menu you see if you hit the function keys anyway. But it does keep it at your fingertips, which is really nice. Now, something that I hope is going to make Elfie very happy is these plugins are going to get me into some good habits really early. A lot of the things that we need to do for the plugin that Elfie made for us also apply to these plugins here. So in other words, you set something up, each event that you set up, you need to make sure certain things are set up and ready to go, okay? Case in point, if I come over here and talk to Sarge, you'll notice that everything's pretty much as normal. Text box at the bottom. I haven't really changed much there outside of the font. Perfect. That'll be 0 gold. I'm sorry. Did you just say 0 gold? I did. You want it? Not that I'm complaining, but why is it free when everything else is expensive? Well, if I sold it to you, it wouldn't be a golden bear of sharing. It would be a golden bear of selling. Duh. Now, fam, the reason I went through that is because if I come over here, one of the things the plugins allows you to do is it allows you to auto size the window and also tell it where on the screen you want that to pop up. So if I go over to the sign, now the box is raised, but it's also condensed to just fit the text, which I like a whole lot better. There's another plugin that we can pick up that allows for talk bubbles basically to pop up all over the place. Once I get a little bit more versed with this, I'll see if we actually need to add that one in too, which we probably will, because that allows multiple people to basically talk at the same time. Which is really, really nice. Now, if I go and talk to the next person, now they're all raised back up there. What I have to do is go into the other events and tell them to lower them back down if that's what I wanted. There we go. But I love how much control we have over that. Okay, now I can't get through there. What I should be able to do, and let me check and see if I can make this happen. So right now everything is off. Can I set this up? Let me try to remember here. Which one? I don't remember which switch it is. I think it's Elf Seller. Let's see if that does it. Yep, that's it. That was the switch. So again, you can just go in there now and turn the switches on and off. Suddenly, life as a dev got a whole lot easier. Thank you, Ferret. I appreciate it. We'll see you in a bit, love. We'll see you in a bit. And of course, you come back up through here too. Now I'm coming back up here for a reason, fam. I'm doing some things out of sequence, so some things are going to look a little bit off. The move, okay? I wanted to get into a bigger room so I could show you all this. Up until now, we've been limited to left, right, up, and down, okay? Now, we can do this. No worries.
No Baja Gold for you and no Thrashed Apple for me. Life sucks.
Indeed. Jared, how are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Is this Baldy? No. No, this is Jamie. Big announcements will go out before it's Baldy. I promise. When I start doing character streams during game dev, we'll do announcements on that first so people know. Because I don't want anybody caught off guard. It'll be really odd if I don't do that. So, yep, no. I appreciate you asking, though, Jared. Jared, how are you doing? It's good to see you, man. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome.
Subscription confirmed. HR will overlook your crimes. This time.
And Jared, thank you so much for the resub. 64 months. Thank you so much for the continued support, Jared. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, something else I did want to show you, fam, by the way. Would you like to save your game? Yes. The save game screen has also changed. Much more graphically pleasing. A lot easier to see, a lot easier to keep track of. There's a couple of other things unseen initially that this added in that are going to be big game changers for us. One is that you can actually make the conversations boxes bigger than 4 lines now. And that's built in with these. So that's one of the biggest ones. The other one though is that in the engine you're limited to about 6 choices when you're trying to give people choices. Now most of the time that's more than plenty. However, there are times where you need a full selection of options. Like when we were talking about when you get to the Totally Tall Mall and there's 9 different floors, it would be nice if you could just choose the floor and not have to like go through 2 different trees to get to the store you want to get to. Not a problem anymore. That's all set. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And again, we'll have some fun playing with this, fam, because we're going to actually dial in the look live. These are the fun kind of things we can do live. Go into the engine, play around a little bit, see what colors we ultimately want to go with. And then we can start to form the look of the game a little bit too. Which a lot of this is going to also be very critical. Fam, I'm going to say this again. We have a new artist on the team. And that is Lunafar. Dear friend to our very own Kira. Those of you that know Marbles, this is Yorstra's daughter. We're very excited. We're very excited. But I need to make sure that I've got tools in place so that she can do her thing. That's why I've been talking about the canon document so much too, to help the whole team move together in the same direction. And that's why I'm working on that. I'll hopefully have that done this week. But also while I'm doing that, making sure these tools are in place so that if I go and say, hey, can you make me 5 characters? I need just 5 general NPCs. Everybody has the tools they need to make that happen. So. Jaren, exactly. Exactly. Felly, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. Let's see here real quick. Okay, yep. It's Jared, it's funny you brought that up. There might be some place in the game that already is happening that maybe I haven't shown yet. But to your point, now I can really have fun with it. Not to the point of getting ridiculous, but options are options. I love it when we get to the point where we've got enough options that now we have to start picking and choosing between them so that we don't confuse the player. But that means we're at a better spot to be able to direct the game where we want it to go. So. But it even shows you your newest save files. Who's in the party, who's with you, on and on. Have a nice day. And then we're down there in the basement. Now for this, give me 1 second here, fam. I'm going to just Alt F4 out of that one because there's spoilers down there and I don't want to ruin the spoilers. But that's what we have so far, fam. It is already looking a lot nicer. One of the things I'll have to keep in mind is to make sure that I design maps that go far enough out to the sides. That's one of the things I'm going to actually work on today. You'll notice that there's still black bars on either side of it. All I have to do with this, fam, is just widen the map out a bit more. Actually, I should probably figure that out, how far I have to go so that it covers from screen side to screen side. Speedy, good to see you. Welcome in. And Felly, it's Norse mythology. I mean, Norse. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Norse mythology. But someone having 9 mothers? Nothing surprises me when it comes to mythology anymore. But yes, there has to be some logic and story behind it, right? Yeah, North Miscalia. Jared, exactly. Exactly. Oh, man. Here we go. Oh, sis, thank you. Thank you, love. All right, fam. So what we're going to be able to do now is now we can start getting in and tweaking a few of the options along the way. We've already gotten a lot done in here. One of the things, though, that I need to do is I'm going to zoom in here a bit, and I'm going to pull up. Oh, I was on the wrong thing. There we go. I can pull up this option, and I can show you a little bit of how the plugin works. I know it's hard to read on your screens, fam, but this allows me to offset the X and Y. So if I want to move the box someplace else on the screen, I can do that. Now, where this becomes a real advantage and have it like wrap right around the conversation, where this becomes a real advantage if you want to get this fancy, I think we'd end up driving ourselves nuts with this. But you can have it so that for at least certain conversations, the bubbles are right up next to the characters or right underneath them instead of always being on the bottom. So if you didn't want to always have like the faces pop up and all that, you could actually do that. Wrap it up in convenient little text boxes, and there you go. Now we will have the faces in ours. Thanks, Alfie. And we can rotate that stuff on the fly. So just like with the plugin that I'm talking about right now, where I go in, you set it, and then everything that happens after that, it'll be that way until you change it. The plugin that Alfie did does the same thing. So per event, we've got to go in and make sure we have certain parameters set. One of the things we will do is we'll set up what's called common events. And what that is, fam, is that's just an event that we can keep calling to anytime it needs to happen so that we don't have to program it into each little individual event in each map. Keeps it really nice and simple for us. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, before I play around with placements or anything else, I'm going to actually expand this map a little bit. I think it needs to go out about another 4 blocks. Oh. Well, that was... That was interesting. I'm not sure what just happened there. I pressed one little button to... Luckily, everything was saved. I pressed one little button to make something happen, and the computer decided to reset itself. So please stand by. I'll watch for it to pop back up in the corner. Like making a save point, fella. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Apparently, it did have enough of working today. Okay. Let's find out what just happened here, shall we? Whoa. Putting those right up in my face. And everything. Sarge!
Sparrows cheered 500 bits and said technical difficulties are ours. Please stand by. Your entertainment is important to us, and resolving this is our top priority.
Sarge, thank you so much for the bits and the comedy to go with it. How are you doing today? It is really good to see you. Welcome in. Oh, man.
Like sparks in flight. Keys whisper secrets through the night. Jamie's
Okay.
world is street.
Let's try this again, fam.
Cold is my glow, my endless flow.
No, Steam, I did not ask for you to open up.
Building dreams where number.
Lately, fam, there's been a new push. I feel like every piece of See, this is what I'm talking about. I feel like every piece of software wants to just spring itself open and throw the advertisements at you. Every single one. Everything I open on my desktop lately, it's been like, oh yeah, here you go. Steve's like, no, I'm not done yet. I have other stuff I want to show you. Oh, man. Decide to crash in and what happens? Yeah. Oh, man. But did I see? No. That's my revenge, Elfie. When they keep popping things up in my face like that, I ignore it. I feel like that's the ultimate revenge. You just cost me 5 seconds of my day unnecessarily. Actually, Steam just cost me 10. So no. Nope, I will not look at what you have to show me. Absolutely not. I refuse. I am a sad bald man who is taking a stand right now over all that bullshit. All of it. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I know. Felly, I'm only kidding. The thing from my side, okay, like when it comes to all that stuff, is I've already gone in and shut all that stuff off. Did it a long time ago. And what ends up happening is with updates and all that, and I understand little things getting ticked back over or whatever, but with updates or otherwise, that stuff starts coming back. And then I have to go back in and turn it all off again. That one was unique though, because all I did was open up RPG Maker and Steam just popped up and said, surprise! Oh, man. No, Felly, it's fine. It's fine. I kid a lot about this stuff, but it is what it is. The one that threw me the other day was when I was opening up the engine, because I had never had this happen before. Opening up RPG Maker, and then all of a sudden all these news and events started popping up. I'm like, this hasn't happened before. This is new. For all the months I've been using the engine, and it didn't do it to me today, by the way. I think it's just because they have those new packs they're trying to push or whatever. Maybe that's it. Oh, Felly, yeah. Because it's all connected to Steam. For sure. Let's see. Let me see here real quick. Scorba, I don't have too many problems with that, actually. I really don't. It stays that way for me most of the time. That's why this one threw me, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, that's a little bit different. But no, usually Steam stays shut. If I open it directly from my desktop or something like that, it does trigger Steam. Again, because of the DRM and all that stuff, and I get that. But having it actually pop Steam open in full while I'm firing up the program again, That's a new one, unless the only time I've ever had that happen before is if there was something in the game that needed my attention in Steam, like an update or something. Then that's been a little different, but like I said, it is what it is. Here's a game that matches your interest. Here's a game that matches your interests. I dated my baseball manager to restore her honor. How about Writer Tycoon? Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, the Rift. There you go. And Kemi, how are you? I'm sorry I was not able to make it over yesterday. I had all kinds of people sending me messages and texts that I couldn't get back until it was too late. How did it all go last night? Did it go good? Fam, for those of you that don't know, Kemi is one of our favorite DJs. And if you know me, that's really saying something. We love her to death. We love her to death. By the way, fam, could we get a shout out for Kemi? Who is one of our favorite people by far. And you're welcome. It's good to have you back. How are you feeling, by the way? Everything good? Family good? Takes ages. So I just said, working on your Linux stuff. All right. Fam, let me, where are we at time-wise? Oh, there's an ad coming up too. Okay. All right. So fam, real quick before the ad kicks in, I'm going to go ahead, step away real quick while the ads are running. I'm going to go grab something to drink and just stretch my legs. When we come back, I'm going to continue chatting all of you up, and we're going to continue to dive through the game. So everybody, please don't go away. Fun fact, we are the only two people with UV reactive paintings. Once I get the battery replaced in my remote, I'll be able to actually show you all how that works. Go ahead and get myself back up on stream. Hi, fam. All right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get ourselves back out to our game screen here. And we're going to start to work our way through a few little things here. The first thing I want to do again is the map. So let's make sure now that we have, and this is why I wanted to do this now, fam. Because now while we're working on Damage's Rift is the time for us to start play around with some of these plugins and get ready for when we start releasing chapters of the main game. So what I'm going to do with this one is get it sized properly so the map fills the entire screen. And this is something that we're going to need to do for all of the maps, really. But for right now, let's go ahead and edit this one. And we're going to add, for right now,
He's the spark in the static, the fire
let me make that 25 wide. And I'm going to move.
in golden voice, and a style so rare.
There we go.
From the rift to the skyline, the signal runs strong. Every soul in the night finds a
Fill that in. This one here, let me get that border in place, and then I can just fill this in. Oops. Didn't think it was going to do that on me. Okay, so we'll do this instead. Let's see if this runs the distance. If not, we'll see how close we got. We're going to need 2 more blocks is what we're going to need. Okay. So now we'll know for sure. So width-wise, now we know they have to be at least 27 across. Okay. There we go. Move that over 1. And this will allow me to just fill that in real quick. I can run up here and grab these and fill these in real quick. And then grab these. That's right, these I have to draw. There it is. I'll be able to use certain zooms, things like that too, but And I can widen that out and give that a better look as time goes on, fam. But for right now, this keeps everything pretty functional. The only thing that I still have yet to do with Sarge at the moment, anyway, Sarge right now is still wandering, and he shouldn't be. There we go. Fixed on the first, random on the second, so that you can actually come and talk to them. A mechanic that I was considering building in to be used all over the game is to have squares set up so that the person will actually approach you. So like they could be wandering around wherever, but you can only talk to them if they're one square away or less. So in this case, what we could do is they could wander around back there, but set it up so that when you cross an event, they'll actually come up to the counter to talk to you, which actually isn't too difficult to do. You just set it up so they move towards the player twice, and generally you're good to go. Have we been up forever wandering? I am reminded, Sarge, that not all who wander are lost. Oh, man. Oh, says we have batteries. The reason I have not installed them is until I'm using the blacklight on a regular basis, it's pointless. This particular remote actually drains battery power faster than it should. So we keep the battery out of it until we're going to actually use it, is the thing. So we've got batteries that'll work, but we weren't going to waste them until, or use them until we're actually really ready to use the light. Otherwise, it just sits in the remote and drains forever. And it's really sad, because then you press the buttons and you get no black light. Then you watch the de-evolution of humankind as you sit there and continue to press the buttons. Even though they don't turn on, you're still pressing them. And then when that doesn't work, you start to shake it. Like there's one click left in the bottom of the remote somewhere, and you're like, I know if I shake this enough, I can press the button and it'll work. I know, I've done it all. I've done it all. Oh, man. It becomes very depressing. Indeed, Sarge. Indeed. There we go. Now, the other thing I was going to do here is set this up so that, and we really need to do this. What I'm going to do, fam, is I'm going to go in here and set up a common event so we can keep calling to it, because we're going to call to these a lot. But this is, for this case, it's going to be signs. So that generally a sign will pop, the message box for a sign will pop up at a particular spot. And all I got to do is take what I've dropped in there. There we go. Actually, let me change this. Sign text. And I'm going to make another one. These will come in handy later too, fam. When we start using Alfie's plugin, we'll actually expand some of these, but one thing at a time. Character text. Only for this one, instead of the offset being so high, we'll set it to about -20. That'll pick it up in the air a little bit, where we'll be able to see it over top of the start bar if that's in the way somehow. And then what I should be able to do with each of these and it'll probably need to be, yeah, we'll have to set it on each page. Because every time, let's make sure I'm doing this right. Yes, okay. So we'll call a common event. And what I'll do is I will put that event in just ahead of the first conversation that takes place in each event. And that way it'll set the alignment for where that is going to be each and every time. But now we just have one event that it'll just keep calling to over and over again. So. Oh, your internet dropped, Kevy. Welcome back. And yes, fam, by the way, if you need bad puns, Sarge has tons. Tons. Be an NPC in the game somewhere. What, that sells bad puns, you mean? Okay. So what we're going to do here, fam, or really all I'm doing right now is just making sure that each of the events has the proper alignment for these. Okay, I already took care of that for Sis. I already took care of that for Sarge. I already took care of that for Aurora. And I got both of them in for Jack, right? Okay, and that's Jackknife. Now, for each of these, I can get rid of this, call to a common event, and now sign text. Sign text, sign text, sign text, and sign text. Okay, very good. All right, let's give this a shot and see if it flip-flops the position of the text box back and forth like it's supposed to. There we go. Carrie Ann is at work right now. Yeah. Yep. I will, Kemi. Oh, you were talking to Sis. I'm sorry. I saw the message though, Kebby. I will absolutely let her know. Absolutely let her know. This level of humor ain't cheap. It costs dignity. Good thing I've got a lot of dignity to burn through. Oh, not really. Kemi, we will. Kemi, she was one of the people that poked me yesterday to let me know you were on. She came in, she's like, because I had been working on Stanton. She's like, did you see Kemi was on? And I'm like, no. Sis texting me, reaching out to me, Carrie Ed's tapping me on the shoulder. By the time I got all the messages, I had missed it. Is that muted? Okay, good. Good. There we go. All right, so let's make sure our signs are popping up in the right place here, fam. Oh, perfect. All right, so fam, goal number 1 was to get the text box just above the start menu. That way, if somebody is using the start menu bar still, even on full screen or otherwise, it'll still be above that and you can see it. If you're in full screen, and I'll get there in a second, but if you're in full screen, that shouldn't be a problem without the start bar too. It'll leave just a little bit of room at the bottom. Not a big deal. So what I'll do is I will get to now a spot where I can read the sign. Let's make sure the sign is at the right spot. The sign should be higher up. Beautiful. All right. Go back over and talk to Sarge. Text box should drop back down again. There it is. Nice. That's easy enough. That's easy enough. Well, if I sold it to you, it would be a golden bear of sharing. It would be a golden bear of selling. Duh. Sarge, on your screen right now, Sarge gets the best line in the entire game. And I like pointing that out to him at every opportunity. I did a short one yesterday. Try not to overdo it. Oh, I bet. And Kemi, by the way, I saw your comments about it. It's still taking you a bit to heal up and everything. I'm just glad to see you're doing well and doing well enough to be able to get back up on camera for a little bit. Even if you got to take it easy. It's just good to see you and good to see you're doing well. And I assume baby's doing good too. Rico, how are you? It is good to see you, by the way, my friend. Welcome, welcome in. And has the best onesie shirt ever. Yes. Oh, yes. I happen to know what that onesie shirt is. All right. Let me see here, fam. This should be back up in the air again. Saros Toys, it's what you play with. Excellent. Come on down here. Jackknife the Hiker, welcome to KJH Boots. Okay. We'll do this real quick. There we go. Come to the sign. Back where it should be. This sign. Right where it should be. Talk to sis. Back down where it should be. Excellent. Okay. Yup, everything seems to be working as it should. Okay. Excellent. All right. So very good. That's all set. And that's one less thing we'll have to tackle with later, fam. Let's see. I can go ahead and jump out of this now. There we go. I'm trying to picture in my head Angel saying the word dick. If she was saying somebody's name, I could hear her saying it. If it was a name. Talking to a person named Dick, yes. Any other definition of the word? Probably not. I don't ever hear that coming out of Angel's mouth. Okay, so with that in place, now I can show you all some of the other fun things we can do. And that's why I stuck with one of the maps that was a bit simpler. There are, and this is something else I was playing around with a bit today. This new plugin offers us a lot of possibilities. It works almost like mock-up, where you can have certain things bold, you can have certain things sneak in. The list of instructions is pretty massive. Now, unfortunately, I had gone and found the instruction page and had it open, which lasted all the way up until my computer decided to shut itself off. So I'll have to go back in and try to find that. But in the meantime, there are certain things that are there. Like you can type in left/left. You basically put it in brackets. You can left justify it, right justify it, center it. Add extra lines if you want to. The plugin will allow you to add in more if you want to. That kind of thing. As a matter of fact, something we could try with Sarge. Let me cancel out of this for a minute. Let me get back over to Sarge's because Sarge has a lot of conversation. Drop a plugin command here. I'm going to grab that plugin real quick. In this case, we're grabbing Message Core. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the message properties this time. So I can make, again, the box wider, skinnier, whatever it is I want to do, I can do it all right here. But what I wanted to try in this case was instead of 4 rows of text, I'm going to expand the box to 8. 6 would probably do it. I'm going to expand it. Actually, maybe 6 will do it. I'll start with 6. Width is there. Word wrap is now also a possibility in this where we did not have that before. And all I can say is that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So when you're using variables and you don't know what name somebody's going to choose and you're worried about it running it off the side, now you don't have to worry about that anymore. Now there's certain commands you can't use with word wrap. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. The list is online too, so that we know which ones we can and cannot use, but there'll be some playing around. Like for example, you can't center justify something and then tell it to word wrap. That will not work in the engine. You're going to have to use one or the other. Word wrap is generally there, by the way, for you to use when you're not trying to do anything else fancy with the text. Changing font sizes, things like that. So I had an Uncle Richard, but went by Dick. And the kids and nieces and nephews all called him Uncle Dickie. Angel to me is the forever talking in front of a 2-year-old. Oh, man. All right, fam. So with 6 rows and all that set up, what you do is you actually run the boxes together. So I'm going to have to do a couple of things a little bit differently. Yeah, see, this was 5 lines. I couldn't put this all in one conversation before like I wanted to. Now I can do that. Let's see if we can actually make this work the way we want it to. Actually, let's see if we can make this. Let's try to push the engine a little bit. Okay. If this does what I'm intending it to do, we'll get all 5 lines in one text box, and I will have to press the space bar to get it to move to each line. This is something that I'm actually testing here, fam. Want to see if the expanded lines can handle this? And handle it as it should. Hi, I'm Saros, and welcome to Saros Toys. It's what you play with. We sell the finest and overpriced toys and cursed dolls. See anything you like? Oh, it tried to. Oh, why did it try to jump right into the next? It's not supposed to do that. Oh, I see what I did. You've got to switch it back. And this is why we do things like this. Okay, let me make sure. We'll just shut that down that way. So what I have to do but I actually need to change that to 5 anyway. Now, another command I'm going to add in here, fam, is auto. Auto gets put right into the text box, and it will auto size the box just to that. But only that box. This is a per text box thing. So one more time, I'm going to try to get that in there. Okay. And then, before any more conversation happens, this needs to switch back to its usual size. 4. All right, everything else is good to go. Let's see how the auto does with this too, fam. No, it wasn't. Cheryl, it wasn't. It became more of a negative connotation later on. Okay, so yep, just go in with the new game. Now let's see if the conversation goes as I expect it to. There we go. Okay, so you see how the box shrunk down a bit too, fam? It's more an appropriate width for the conversation and all that. Basically, just as far as it needs to be. That's what the auto does. Now, if this works properly, when I move to the next box, it should go back to being Dick Charming, and it should not try to continue it like Saros is saying it. There it is. There we go. Okay. There we go. Azaruth, 355. That is amazing. Azaruth, thank you so much. Sis now for something, I think. I remember we were joking about it because she actually managed to make it through the whole era where we were having internet. Azaruth too. Numbers like that means that the two of them avoided all the traps that happened to us along the way. And I am immensely grateful. Azaruth, are you at 510? Oh, you have a 510 somewhere. Gotcha. Gotcha. Those are proud numbers to hang on to. It's because it's hard. And sometimes Twitch just borks. Like if Twitch is having a funky day or a stream only runs about a half an hour and the streamer gets kicked off for whatever reason, like an internet trouble or something like that. Yeah, so many little things that can throw that off. So when I see numbers like that again, it's like, wow, I'm very grateful. I am very grateful, fam. Okay. So we have all of that set up, and that's working well. We have the basics in place for conversation trees. I was wondering if I had any other conversations here that I could actually dress up and make a bit funnier, because this allows you to add like bold tags and everything else to it now, italics and all that too.
Oh, Claiborne friend, my steadfast bed. Oh, Claiborne friend, they smash you all and leave me dread. They smash you all and leave
Elfie's song is playing right now, fam.
each part I lose, my soul does cry.
Let's see.
I wail to the sky. I wail to the sky. Love you, my pots of destiny.
Such a great song. My viewers lost during my maternity leave. I guess it resets after a month of not streaming. Oh, does it really? Oh, that I didn't know. I did not know that. The water keeps the panels cooler, so they don't hurt birds. They can also land on the... Oh, wait a minute. Today's interesting news story. The biggest problem with solar farms is... Well, oh, it's going right off the screen now. Hang on. The biggest problem with solar farms is while they're clean, they use up a lot of space. So Singapore has created floating solar panels to put on water. The water keeps the panels cooler so they don't hurt birds. They also land on them safely. And staying cool means they generate more power. Oh, nice. Very nice.
What happens in the pot stays in the pot till you smash it.
You didn't either? Yeah. Kemi, I had no idea. I will keep that in mind.
My plucking hand.
I hope I'm not gone from the community for more than a month, but you never know what might come up in your life. Oh, man. Oh, Kemi got to meet BRP last night? Oh, that's cool. Very cool. All right. Let me see, fam, if
From pots we are born, to pots we return, and I'll rage till my
let me see if it does the italics like it's supposed to. That's all I want to test here. Dang. Nice. Very, very nice.
Requesting
Oops.
designation. Identity forming.
Ignore that. Ignore that. This is the button I was trying to get to. I had moved over a couple because I was working on a couple of sound effects, so. Buttons, exactly. Exactly. But now we can do bold, we can do whatever we need to do to emphasize something.
Disturb her, oh no, don't you dare, unless you want her to fully curse and swear. Why the bleep are you at my house? Why the bleep
Okay.
are you at my
And under options,
in slumber again, and I swear you'll be on the floor.
there we go. Okay.
You may be wondering why I sing these words, but I speak from experience. Those pointed shoes hurt.
What I want to just check out, fam, with it, with that start bar gone. Yeah. Yup, that looks good. Okay.
3 times she'll kick you right in your silk purse. Why the bleep are you at my house? Why the bleep are you at
There we go. Okay. So now we can start to dress some more of this up. By the way,
Why the bleep are you at my
a function that I very much approve of. One of the things that I can drop into a text box and make it do funky stuff. There's now a chaos command. And all chaos really does is it, like, you write out a sentence and it'll randomly change the letters between capitals and lowercase. So what this does is you can have all uppercase, all lowercase, title text, which is just caps at the front of each word. So you've got that going on. You can do italics, bold, all kinds of stuff. It's nice and you couldn't do all that before, by the way. There were a certain number of things you could do, but you couldn't do a lot of those. Now for emphasis and comedy and all that, we'll be able to do it. So.
Jamie's world, a stream of light.
Kemi, I'm writing my own. All the music you hear in the background is all original. What we've been doing, to give you the full rundown, what we've actually been working on is we have been working with Suno directly. So what I do is I basically write all the lyrics, work with AI to just make sure I've got the prompting down so that the song is crafted the way I want it to be crafted. And then I let it go to town, and it's mine. We actually do it, if you ever want to see the process, we do it live, usually on Thursdays. Thursdays have been a little bit of a mix because I've had some other artwork and all that I've had to do, but usually on Thursdays and Sundays. We do music writing and all that. So, but I've been able to create some incredible trance tracks. And again, it's stuff that I'm going to use when we do Plur and all that too. But we'll be able to mix them together. Oh yeah. And have it be all original. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, if you ever want to stop by and see what we're doing, usually what I try to do, like Thursday, if all goes to plan, we're going to actually be doing a series of instrumentals. There's a series of tracks I want to do. There's a radio show we're putting together for Sis, Night Drive. And we've already got a couple of tracks for that, but I want to start adding in some instrumentals because that's meant to be more of an instrumental show. But what you can do is you can actually go into the lyrics box and just put the different prompts in there and no lyrics. And you can actually craft the instrumental that way. It's really cool. It's gotten to the point now with Suno where basically it behaves like a studio musician. And massive quality, notice in the massive difference in the quality of the music. If you're writing lyrics yourself and actually crafting the prompts versus if you just go into it and say, write me a song about washing dishes. I've actually experimented with it to see what it does. If you actually go in and play Maestro and truly compose it, you can do such cool stuff with it. And then it's yours. It's unique. It's unique. And sometimes the silliest songs, yes. Oh, you mean like Bob? Any laundry songs? No. No. I have a dishwashing song I turned into a full lyric song, though. Actually, fam. Something I will drop a link for. I'm not going to interrupt the stream to do it right now. Oh, shoot, I can't share it yet. Never mind, fam. I'm sorry. Hang tight. There's a song that I wrote. I can't give out the link yet, though, because I've got a couple little tweaks I have to do to it first. Mental health song, by the way. Did a general progressive house version and a general progressive trance version for it. That turned out pretty cool. Not exactly where I want it to be yet. It's not true danceable, tranceable yet, but it's getting close. It's getting close. The problem that I'm running into is that it's an emotional song, and I tried using a lot of highly emotional prompting to get it to carry through, and I overdid it a bit. What it does is it takes the emotion to a really high level and holds it there, and it never comes back down, and that doesn't work. You need that balance, and that's what I've got to work out yet. But it's very close. It's very, very close. But we'll get there. But yeah, Kemi, we have all kinds of playlists and all that we play off of. Usually when I sit down and write lyric songs now, I write 3 versions. I write a trance version, I write an electro swing version, and I write a synthwave version. Okay. Those were the ones about washing dishes that were kind of one-offs. What did I do here, by the way? Excuse me one sec, fam. Trying to see out of my glasses. Couldn't figure out why I was having a hard time seeing out of my glasses. And there's eyelashes all over them. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that explains a lot. Oh, Kemi, yeah. We'll have fun. We'll have fun with it. And I can show you, or in this case, it'll be Stanton. But we can show you some other things that are going on for sure. It is very fun to work with, and it's gotten to the point now where you can get it to craft. Is it as good as something you'd go to the store and buy? Of course not. Of course not. Is it fun for making goofy, fun, silly songs, original songs that you can use? And can you actually craft some really good stuff? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Some of the stuff we've come up with has been absolutely badass. Not perfect. Not perfect. It's not like a studio recording or anything like that. But some really great stuff all the same. If I ever get back into like using Fruity and all that again, I will take a lot of those songs and dump it in there and see if I can recraft it. There's a few songs I've been listening to already, and I'm picturing Fruity Loops in my mind, and I'm like, yeah, when I used to produce, I could do all these different effects. And I'm kind of picturing it in my mind how I would craft it a little bit. It's fun. Carrie Ann! What do you mean? Where's your doc picture? Oh, you know what? It did. It popped up. It probably popped up, but the sound is off on the other computer right now, love. Because the game music was playing. I'm sorry. Still cheated? I'm sorry, love. They actually don't seem to be playing right now, do they? I'm wondering if, hang on a sec, Fab. Hang on a second. I can check something on my side real quick. Yep, shows it tried to fire them. I'll check one thing real quick. I won't dwell here too long today because I know what happened. Because that computer just turned itself off and back on again randomly, fam, it didn't open the overlay back up. That's why nothing's playing through the overlay right now. I'll fix that. So it'll at least be fixed for the rest of the stream. Let me make sure. Give me one more second here, everybody. There we go. All right. Anything else that fires will fire. I wonder if there's a way I can wipe. Let me see if I can wipe those cooldowns from the dashboard. They were going to add that feature in, but I don't know if they did or not. Ooh, maybe. Fam, let's try a technical. Since we had to do this anyway, try to fire them again, loves. See if they'll fire now. I want to see if the clear cooldowns command works too. I will wait.
Fishing poles. Catch a big one.
There it is. Now you won't be cheated. Shadow, your new license came in. Awesome. Very cool. You're too shy. If you don't fire it, I will. Okay? It's that simple. And wait a minute. What's this you're too shy stuff?
Carrie Ann's unsolicited doc pics. Get your wood wet.
There it is. There it is. Shadow, congratulations on being an official resident. There we go. Now we know why. What happened earlier, fam? My second computer I was in the middle of doing game dev. My second computer just shut itself off. Decided it was done or whatever. I don't know why.
Detected. New department incoming.
But that's what it did. Nihilicious, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Raiders, welcome in. Fam, can we please get a shout out for Naya? Naya, welcome in. How was your stream? And welcome in, Raiders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, you were playing Phasmo.
Oh, look. A new intern joined the department. This should be fun.
Ed Wellwitch, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the family. Good to have you here with us. Welcome in. Naya, I know. How have you been? How has everything been lately? All been good with you? And fam, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're actually working on our game dev. We usually work on game dev on Tuesdays. What you're looking at right now is Damage's Rift. Okay, this is a mini game compilation we are going to be launching to help fund our main game, which is a top-down, highly comedic RPG. This mini game collection will also be highly comedic as well, but that's what we're working on today, fam. We're actually trying out some new tools, making sure we're going to be able to use them and stick with them before we move on. But we're using it to redo a couple of maps and add in some extra functionality, which has been a lot of fun, so. And the Swedish GTA clip, yeah. Working a lot. Oh, you don't stream a lot anymore? How often are you streaming now, Daya? You're looking at me. Wait a minute. Well, yeah. Because we're still chatting. How about we look at this, though? Can we look at this instead? How about this, actually? We'll look at that for a little bit. Like every third week? Oh, wow. Okay. So not often, but you're doing good, though? All's well in life in general, and any exciting news or anything since the last time we talked?
Pineapples.
Ooh, pineapples. Somebody want to try an exclamation point, one of the members want to try an exclamation point DA to see if you can get pineapples out of it? That would be the ultimate. Watch it be the Damage Industries blue screen of death or something, but. Oh, you're working? Okay. I can't remember. Oh, wow. Did we talk about that? You getting married? All right, let's see if we can dial this in a little bit.
Pineapples.
Look at that! Look at it! Ask and you shall receive. What were the odds that we could get that one? There it is. I need you to open a can of biscuits. And yes, I didn't behave myself with the phrasing. No. But on the next break, love, which is actually going to be in about 2 minutes because the ads are coming up on Twitch, I'll come downstairs and open the biscuits for you. Giggity. Oh, man. Let's see if we can dial it in. Naya, have you been in stream? Have we had a chance to talk since I got married? We have, right? Because that was a couple of years ago now. When Carrie Ann and I got married? We've talked since then. Yes, okay. Okay, so that'll narrow it down a bit. Naya, when did you get married again? I say couple love because it's over 2, but less than 3. (31st of August, 2024). Aw, a fellow. Oh. Oh, that's August. I'm sorry. Ours was July. I was like, wait a minute. Almost the same time. And I'm like, oh, wait, that's August. So, I don't know. Yeah, Naya, I don't know. I don't know if I've had a chance to see you or catch up with you since then. I'll have to think about that one. Anyway, fam, here's what's up. Okay, we do have ads coming up on Twitch. I am sorry. Here's how we do this, okay? What we do, fam, is we run ads once per hour to get them out of the way. So we'll do all 3 minutes in one shot. What I do is I take that as an opportunity to step away myself. I stretch my legs, grab a little bit of something to drink. After the ads are done, fam, I'm going to come right back. We'll keep catching up with everybody, and I'll show you a little bit more of the game. So everybody, please, don't go away.
I have a little sister. Just thought you should know. She sits on my shoulder and is with me everywhere I go. But I don't understand her. She speaks to me differently. 'Cause she's a giggle fish, and they may make different sounds. You see, she is a giggle fish, and the giggle fish goes blah 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 blah. And the giggle fish goes blah 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 blah. And the giggle fish goes blah 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 blah. You are love. You are love. She talks to me all day through the soda pop bubbles. You might not understand her, but you'll feel the love double. And the giggle fish goes blah 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 blah. And the giggle fish goes blah 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 blah. You are love, our love. You are love. She talks to me all day through the soda pop bubbles. You might not understand her, but you'll feel the love double. And the giggle fish goes blah 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 blah. And the giggle fish goes blah 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 blah. You are love. You are love.
There's an elf named Bleep hiding in the pine, cranky as a rooster drinking too much moonshine. She's got sass for days and temper that flares. When she opens her mouth, you best say your prayers. Oh, Bleep the elf, she's a handful, oh my, tongue sharper than a blade cutting through the sky. Cussing like a sailor, yet somehow divine. Bleep the elf got a mouthful mighty fine. She don't bake cookies or stitch up shoes. She's too busy.
All right, Naya, if I happen to catch you, take care. Thank you so much for the raid and bringing everybody over to say hi.
Even Jamie himself.
Get myself back up on camera here real quick. And Naya, thank you for the lurk. Much love. It was really good to see you. And yes, please don't be such a stranger. And if I happen to see you on and I can catch you, I'll stop over and say hello. All right, fam, I am going to actually sit down here. So give me just a second. I'm going to make the camera do what looks like something wonky. And then we'll do this. There we go. When I sit too long, it feels really good to stand. When I stand for too long, it feels really good to sit. And it's all good for my legs, so there it is. All right, fam, our last song is playing on our playlist, by the way, so let me go ahead and loop that back around. We're going to actually loop this back around and start back with the Ballad of Dick Charming, which is the song we actually just wrote on Suno on Sunday, the one that Kira did all the lyrics for.
The Ballad of Dick Charming.
This really did turn out cool. Wasn't expecting the tuba again, but you know what? It works. It works. There we go. Okay. Since I've been playing around a little bit here with Sarge's conversation, okay, that should be all part of that. And then swaps back around to that. And I'm going to try a little experiment here, fam. What I want to try, fam, is I want to try dropping that auto size into all of the blocks of one conversation and then go look at that conversation and see how it looks. What I'm testing, fam, is I want to see if this is something when I program conversations in, if I'm going to want to do this all the time. And fam, what I'll be able to do is just do this real quick, and then I'll jump up to the big game screen and show you what it looks like in game. We'll see if this actually works out the way I'm hoping it will.
Wheels are spinning fast, tiny feet, a blur, they dash in a world of chrome and flash. Circuits hum, the gears align, little warriors, they define a revolution. Wheel in time.
Let's see how the auto handles when you change font sizes and all that too. This is why I wanted to do it with Sarge's conversation too. Every time I listen to the hamster songs, I'm reminded that some of the best bangers we get are over the most ridiculous topics. It's going to make for great game music, though. Really excited for this one. There we go. All right, let's jump into the game. Let's see what this looks like auto-sized. Hi, I'm Saros, and welcome to Saros Toys. It's what you play with. We sell the finest and overpriced toys in cursed dolls. See anything you like? Oh. So when it's shortened, okay. So when it's too short... I can't believe what I was about to say out loud. When there's not enough text, it only shows a little bit of the face. Oh, we just have the one. Don't get too close. She bites. So if it's just one line... Okay, so if it's just one line, it won't show the whole thing. Okay, so for certain things, that's going to work really well. For certain things, it's not. That's why I set that up that way. Okay. So what I can do here then... Feli, does it give you the impression of... Yes, Feli, it does. It does. In terms of using that like a game mechanic... And I can make that happen. Ooh. Can I make that happen at will? Before I go back and redo some of this. Okay. Instead of using auto, let's try something. Philly, you make a great point. I want to try something here. I'm going to try to use the plugin to force it into just one row. And then I'm going to go down here and get rid of the auto and see if it gives us the same effect. If it does, now at will, whenever we want to, we can give it that look where it's just a set of eyes showing. Let's see. Oh, you know what else I need to do though? Hang on. Because then we have to tell the plugin to go back to normal. So 1 row and then 4. Let's give this a quick test and see if we get what we want out of it. Answer is yes. That'll come in handy. And I can tell it where on the screen I want it to be, too. So there you go. Headlines you don't want to have narrowed eyes on. Oh, it's in the minimum size of the profile pics. Yeah, you could do that too. This one with this, though, I can just tell it to go down to 1 line, which is awesome. The other thing, too, is that the auto sizing does that when it's only 1 line. So to your, Feli, to your point, what we could do is when we have cases like this where we want it auto sized, but don't want it like that, we could probably add some text in underneath. And I wonder if a couple of that's interesting. I'm wondering if a couple of carriage returns and a space bar would register that okay if it needs a second line. Let's find out. Let's find out. Oh, no. Come on. That's right. Okay. Let me do this instead. Okay. So if we've got this going on, well, let's experiment, find out. Because right now that ends there. Okay, let's see if this will do what we want it to. Basically, we've already figured out how to narrow it down to the eyes, but how do we keep it full width when we need to see the whole picture, but they've only got like a line or two? Let's see if this fixes that. Curse dolls. She bites. Nope, that will not do it. So the only way you could do that in that particular scenario, if you wanted to still auto size it, see, and the auto size would override that. So what you would do in a case like this is you would just get rid of the auto sizing, I guess. I believe there's something in this plugin too that allows you to, and I'll have to look it up, but allows you to control just the width. It doesn't auto size everything. Let me check one thing here out, fam. Let me see if I can find that right in the plugin documentation itself real quick. By the way, fam, this plugin also allows you to load in CSV sheets. So if you want to provide for different languages, you can do that. There's a lot to this plugin, fam. You can drop images right in the text boxes. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. What I want to do, here it is. There's my list of codes. Left, right, bold, italics, color lock. Can change the colors of everything. Line break you can add in. What I want to find, though, there's chaos. Oh, resizes message window and positions over actor X sprite's head. Oh. Okay. Okay, so auto width is what we're looking for here. But I want to try out that auto actor X too. I think that's going to be a really cool function. Let's see here. Okay, this is the notorious text box that was giving us trouble. So what I'm going to do first. Oops. Let me see what Elfie was dropping in real quick, fam. Some other messages came in and it scrolled her stuff right off the screen. So I almost missed that, Elfie. I'm sorry. They are text, okay. Precede the text with a carriage return. If you have the text at the bottom, I bet it works. Oh, trim. Okay, that's what you were suggesting I try. It turned out to be auto width. Is how they phrased it. So let me do this. Let's see how they handle that. All right, I'm going to have them put this over actor one's head and see what happens. Okay, that was the red Bernstein bear. So I'll have to get into that conversation tree real quick. All right, fam, this is going to test a couple things for us. Let's see what we got. Okay, so that's that I still have set up that way, so that's fine. There it is. So it will auto adjust the width and not mess with anything else. So you can still see the whole picture on it, which is cool. So that part is good. Now, if I go with the red Bernstein bear, I want to see if it puts the text over top of Dick Charming's head. We'll find out. Oh, that's a red Bernstein bear, very popular. Can let it go for 30,000 gold. It works. You'd have to be really careful with that one, though, because I don't know how often I'd end up using that. I can see circumstances where we would. But, like, you can see where Sarge is right now. If it moved it up even higher, you might not even be able to read it at that point. So that's going to get a little bit trickier. You'd have to have boxes in just the right spots and just the right size to make that all happen. But it works. It works. And Alfie, yeah, to your point, I'd have to play around with some of them to see what would actually make that happen. But when I put the carriage returns in there, and it might be the plugin might be set to just ignore all that because it's got the other parameters where you can tell it how wide you want it to be and all that. Just my guess. Just my guess. Okay. Let me go ahead. And now that I've essentially got in here and somewhat wrecked this conversation, let's get in here and fix this. I haven't really wrecked it. It's just a matter of trying some new things out. But we don't need that. I'm going to actually take the auto out of that for the time being. Because we've got the box at a pretty good width. A lot of these commands you'll use under specific circumstances, but not all the time. So a lot of these do we actually just go auto width on these maybe? Let's see. Okay, that I'm going to take that out of there because I don't need that in there at this point. Okay. There we go. Let's see. This one here, I do want to change that to italics. One smart thing they did was that if it's these commands, it's a /. If it's the other base commands, it's a / that you use for it. So does actually help make it easier to keep it apart. Okay, and then in each of these conversations, I'm just looking at what I need to take back out of there in terms of formatting. Which, that was a great experiment. Now I know how all of this different stuff works for when we need it. Is the behavior of the auto size for all message boxes. It's per event, Elfie, just like your plugin does. You've got to set it per event. It will automatically default out when you first get started, but if you change something in any way, shape, or form, you've got to close it back out, or it'll affect all the conversations going forward. So that's what I was experimenting with in the beginning. When you basically tell the message box where it needs to be on the screen, it'll keep popping up in that spot until you tell it through another command otherwise. So every command, we've got to make sure we close it out before we move to the next event. Otherwise, this stuff will carry over from event to event to event. And I think, Elfie, honestly, like after what we saw with the plugin you wrote, so we can swap the characters out and all that, that looks like it's an engine standard where it'll just hang it open until you tell it to do otherwise, which is fine. That's fine by me. Make sure you do what you're supposed to do as a programmer, I guess. When I was actually writing code, that was my #1 problem, is that I wouldn't close things out. All the time. All the time. This was a really fun experiment, though. Now we know exactly how auto will work when we need to call on it.
Fingers dance like sparks in flight. Keys whisper secrets through the night. Jamie's world is street.
Okay, now here's where we're going to make an exception. For the duh, which we want pretty much right in the center of the screen. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to call on... Oh, come on now. Call on the plugin. Four rows, 816. And we're going to want... Oh, no, this is where we want XY offsets. Because 4 rows there is going to be a given. We'll just set the auto width. But offset Y on this one... Let me try bringing that up about 500. Okay, and then down here, actually, I take that back. We're going to call it common event down here. Which is character text, and that'll just put it right back. Okay, that we want on auto. We're going to do actually auto width on that. Same thing on this one. Just an FYI, if you want to always be careful about hard coding the size or pixel count offsets. Not all screens are oh yeah, no. That's why this uses a lot of auto, Elfie. So it auto sizes it depending on where it's at. But yes, very much to your point, there's a reason why you set a default and rely on that as a standard. But this is going to be tools for comedy, basically. But I'm absolutely with you. You start hard coding a bunch of stuff in very specific spots and you're in trouble. Why can't I read this on this screen? Oh, yeah. Okay, so we've got all of that. It goes back to character text after that. That's good. Okay, we can take a lot of these out of here because these will already be set. We'll get those. Almost there, fam. Want to get the rest of this other formatting out of here. And here's Elfie's other pot song. Then let me make sure I didn't modify too much here. There we go. Now let's see if the duh plays out the way I want it to. It should pop up dead center of the screen. We'll see how this goes. It is. It's emotionally charged pots. Emotionally charged pots.
Ceramic pots, huge.
It's just so fantastic. Okay, so with all of this in place, yeah, let's give it a quick test run. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Yep, there's our bold text. Nice. Okay. So what'll it be? All right, let's try the golden bear sharing. Let's see if we get the duh in the middle of the screen. Did you just say 0 gold? I did. You want it? Not that I'm complaining, but why is this free when everything else is so expensive? Well, if I sold it to you, it wouldn't be a golden bear of sharing. It would be a golden bear of selling. Duh. Got it a little bit too high up on the screen, but actually that's not too far off. That's not too far off. If I leave myself four rows above or below, I got to stop and think about this, fam. This will be a game design decision. Because if I leave myself 4 rows above or below the map anywhere, the conversation will always be off to the side. We'll have to stop and think about that. I'm also wondering if there's a... I love the fact we can walk diagonal now, too. There we go. Okay, so... There we go. What I'm thinking, Elfie... This is a go big or go home moment. So, not only do I agree with you, I think we need a screen shake on top of it. Something that I noticed, by the way, the screen shakes are different with these installed. I got to look and see which one affected it. But the screen shakes are better. They're actually better. And I don't know which one of those cores did that. One of them did. But let's get to that duh. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So first thing I need to do, I need to bring that down a bit. Let's make that actually negative 300. I'm going to double the size of that actually. And I think we're going to get rid of the face on that one. and the name. All right, let's give this a shot. Here it comes. Let's see. There it is. Dice. Okay. Good. Good. So I need one more thing, and that's a little screen shake for this. But yeah, that does look much better. Alfie, I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but... Oh, that was Kira. I'm sorry, because Alfie was talking above Kira. I'm sorry, Kira. I had that completely backwards. I'm going to have to start getting more generic so I don't embarrass myself anymore. Like, I'm going to just start saying a member of my dev team. Which will work until I start crossing the wires that way. Then I'll just go, a member of our community jumped into chat and said... All right, where's our duh? Okay. Our screen shake is installed. Let's see what we got. Hey, fellow dev, did you see the thing? Yeah. One of the dev team did a thing, and then we were all supposed to like do the thing in response, but I forgot what thing it is what we were supposed to do. I know there's something somewhere. All right, let's see what kind of shake we get out of this. Well, I'm going to start out by saying I like it a lot. We'll probably need to slow that down a little bit, but yeah. And actually, now that we've figured that out, by the way, fam, I am going to... Let's end our game. I'm going to actually make another comment event while we're at it. Because now that we have that pretty much centered... I'm going to make that another common event right here. Because honestly, fam, I want to have a center box set up for that so that anytime we've got to like give it what's called a system message or otherwise, like, hey, you pick this up, you drop this, whatever. Now it'll pop up right in front of you, which is actually what we want to have, so. Okay. Now I'll change this so that we don't have this anymore. Now we just have a common event. All right, so if all goes to plan now, that should auto-center it for us. And I wanted to move the screen shake down there. And then drop some of that intensity too. Now this should do pretty close to the same thing, fam, just in a slightly different way. And okay. I'm not going to be able to get the screen shake at the same time I get him saying, duh. So we'll take that out, at least for now. Because the shake screen, oh, wait a minute. Can I set that up to not wait? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I can fix it with that, fam. Let's find out. Make it really simple. It still waits until after the text, which that's actually really odd. It shouldn't be doing that now. I'm going to check one more little thing here, fam. Hang on a second. Oh, I didn't move the shake screen back up. That's why. There we go. That should fix it. Emphasis on the word should. I don't speak in absolutes until I test it and I see it working in front of my eyes. There it is. Nice. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now that one's fixed. There we go. Okay. So, fam, let me get up to the big screen here. It was absolutely wonderful to get to spend another day with you all. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. So much love to all of you. Please don't forget, fam, tomorrow, and this was planned, kind of a last-minute plan, but it's still planned. I will not be here streaming tomorrow. Normally, this is our Twitch-only stream tomorrow. I will not be here because I am going to get the vaccinations tonight. And what happens, fam, is after I get a flu vaccination, usually the following day, I'm a wreck. It only lasts for a day. I'll wake up Thursday morning feeling great and we'll be right back at it. But I am going to need to take a down day. I will be getting some creative work and all that done tomorrow. Hopefully finishing the canon document tomorrow for all of our teams as well. A lot of it's going to depend on, again, how I am feeling. But fam, we will not be here tomorrow. We will be here Thursday. We will be working on Suno. That is the plan. All right, we're going to bring Stanton in. And let Stanton run another stream. The plan, again, is to get into Suno and get a whole bunch of music done for the night drive. I'm going to actually be working with the AI a bit, as well as, of course, interjecting my own ideas as well. And we're going to see what we can do to actually craft some instrumentals. So that is our plan. Sis, I will, by the way, sis, I'll tell you right now, okay, that if you do not hear from me tomorrow, all right, I will try to let you go. I will try to let you know tonight. Actually, leave it at this, okay? If you do not hear from me tonight, assume the meeting is canceled tomorrow. If you hear from me tonight, I'll let you know that the meeting is still on. It's all going to depend on how I'm feeling. And in the morning might be a little bit too late for us, so I will let you know. But yeah, assume if you do not hear from me, assume we're not, by the end of the night tonight, that we're not going to meet in the morning. Sleep in. But if it looks like I'm going to be all right, we will meet tomorrow and take a look and see what we can do. But I will absolutely let you know. I will absolutely let you know if we can meet tomorrow. You bet. All right, fam. Ad's going to be starting in a minute now. Let me see. I'll snooze it once here. Let me see who we can find to go share that love with. Let's see who we can go right into. No, I hope not, Kira. I hope not. Each set has gotten a lot easier. So I'm hoping that, there is an outside chance I could wake up tomorrow and go, oh, I actually feel all right. Let's go. But at that point, I'd be sending out an announcement out to everybody saying, surprise, we're going to actually do it anyway. But I'm not counting on that. I am not counting on that. I usually feel pretty crummy the next day, so. Oh, this looks interesting. Hang on a sec, fam. This is somebody we haven't raided into before. Let's see if we should go over and say hello. The title, they're working on game dev, fam. This is Gowly on the Shore. Zelda-like in Game Boy style. And they're actually working on pixel art right now. It looks really cool. Reworking NPC profile pictures and houses. So fam, this is somebody we have not had a chance to go over and say hello to yet. So if you would for me, please, I'm going to go ahead and drop the raid calls right in chat. If you are subscribed, please use the first one. If you are not subscribed, please use the second one. It's the same message, everybody. Just a matter of whether or not you have access to our emotes. All right, everybody, I have begun the raid. One more time, thank you all so much for being here. So much love to every last one of you. Fam, we will be right back on this Twitch channel again on Thursday starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. Those of you on YouTube, we will be back on YouTube on our DICR YouTube channel on Thursday as well at the same time. But fam, until I get to see you all then, please stay safe, stay healthy, and know that a big, bald, goofy comedic artist loves you dearly from the bottom of his heart. Take care, everybody, and please have an absolutely amazing night. I love all of you.